Instead of using a sewing machine to close up our opening, we're going to use the invisible hand stitch. It's also referred to as the ladder, slip, blind, or hidden stitch. We think that closing up a pillow using this technique looks better than using a sewing machine to close up the hole. We will fold under or hem the raw edges of this opening so it's folded in, and then the edges are pinned together with our multi-use pins. Once it's pinned together, inspect your work. Don't be surprised if you see a little bit of a waviness in the fabric. That's only from the straight pins. After the hidden stitch is done, those will disappear. This stitch can be accomplished with a straight hand needle. However, we're going to use a curved needle. These curved needles are available at Sailrite. We're going to use some of the thread that we used to sew the pillow up and insert it in our needle and then tie a double knot at the end. Notice the thread is doubled up. Where our sewing machine started sewing or ended sewing, insert the needle in one of the hemmed edges, going back about a 1/4 inch towards the sewing machine stitches. Then tuck the tail of that hand stitch in between the hemmed edges. Now, on the opposite side, insert the needle directly across from where the thread exits and stitch about a 1/4 inch ahead of that location. Next, go directly across and repeat that process, moving forward about a 1/4 inch each time. These stitches will close up our opening and give a beautiful finished result. Repeat this process about 5 or 6 times. Then pull on the thread, and that'll tighten up those 5 or 6 stitches. Then continue on. For best results, when you go from side to side, be sure to go straight across so the thread is perpendicular to the folded edges. When you pull the thread taut, the stitches will become invisible. Here Cindy has finished up some of the stitching, and she pulls the thread taut, making the stitch invisible. Finally, we're coming to the end. Here you can see Cindy pulling it apart to indicate where our sewing machine stitches start or end. She will finish up a little bit so that she's right on top of that reverse stitching that was made by the sewing machine. So this is our final stitch, right on top of those stitches done with the machine. Then she will take her needle and insert it right in the middle of one of the hems, and then push it through about 1 inch away, pulling the thread to that location. Then she'll go on the other hem and push it through about 1 inch away, going in the opposite direction. She'll do this a few times to bury the loose threads, because Cindy does not like to make a knot. She'll go through one more time, and now she will take her scissors and cut the thread as close to the decorative fabric as possible. And this completes our invisible hand stitching, which closes up that opening for the pillow insertion and makes it look gorgeous.